No, I hate it. It happens to me, and I have to fly out and fly in to fix it.
Oh man. So all right, so I'm gonna. Oh shit! I have all my food at the fucking in my vehicle. That sucks. Um. All right. So right now, with what we're about to talk about, we need you to be 100% truthful. Your silver tongue that we know you have, please, you better leave that shit out. You need to be extremely truthful because everything we're about to tell you right now is being put onto your lap without the truth being told. So we need the full truth from you. All right. And I don't want it to land in your lap. It's not something we want. So you remember that incident that happened way back over at the Omni's boyfriend threatening you?
Yes,
You came up to Millie and I and you said that Swab was kind of mad about that. Is that
that's what
correct?
I was. That's what I was told.
Who
Yes,
told you this?
Hank and one other person at EMS. I think Jamila. They did, and again, I didn't use the word upset. In fact, I specifically told her that's not the tone that I was given. I said that they didn't appreciate it, is what I was told. Not that they were upset about it. That's the exact words I used with Millie. Is
I'll be
they
at the.
didn't
I'm
appreciate
going
it.
to go get my tablet
Not
from my
that
house.
they're.
Real
And
quick.
I went out of my way to tell her that I'm not saying that they were angry or
Whenever you get to
upset.
the Yellow
That they
Jack,
didn't
Brian, will you
appreciate
make me
this.
2
I
meals?
was very careful with the way I said
Okay, okay.
So I had to get out that radio because people started talking. I can't hear them. All right. So go ahead.
So Hank and Jamila told you that Suave and Izzy didn't appreciate us coming up to the hospital.
in the manner that we did. Yes.
Here's the thing. I talked to.
Well, hey, what else was said?
Yes.
I don't know what you mean by that, to be honest with you.
Is that all that is that all about us coming up there that was said?
Correct, as far as I know. I didn't say that they said anything else.
So what we've found out here is that Swab and Izzy never said shit.
Okay.
Not once. To anybody. To nobody. That stuff was never even mentioned. That they didn't feel threatened at all about it. That none of that shit happened.
Okay.
So that's why we're trying to what is the full truth of everything here going on? Because that's a big issue. Is somebody starting shit within the club on that, right? And the fact that I know Swab really well. Swab will always come to me. I mean, we've have a major history together. He will always come to me, no matter what. And the things that I've heard about the whole thing, nothing's making sense about it at all still. None of it seems to be lining up except for the fact that somebody's pulling some bullshit in us. You get what?
Yes, stories are not adding up.
No.
The math
nobody's
isn't
story.
mathing.
No, it's not mathing at all.
And why? How did you go about hearing this from Jack or from Hank and Jamila? Like, where
Well,
and when did they
They work for me.
Who is Jamila, anyways?
She's about to be, I think, their head surgeon.
She wasn't even there. I don't know who the hell that person is. The ones that were there, they were busy doing a bunch of stuff. He was busy doing his thing, and the only person that ever talked to him was Rolo. Nobody else talked to him that night. There was no confronting all that. CK and I went off and talked to whatever the fuck that one girl's name is.
Well, I was in the parking lot. I didn't hear anything.
Yes. So we were staying out there, and that's no different than we do any other time. Go up there and do a ride out, stop off at the hospital there. And I've been told multiple times by Hank, by every EMS worker up there, they love us riding up there and parking and just hanging out with them. Every single one of them, all the way up until the ones that, even the ones that late at night that were up there, I don't remember their names, but she had some ponytails. She even came up and said, "Hey, will you guys come and do a ride out and just hang out up here with us sometime?" She enjoyed us being here, up there. Every single one of them, her and her boyfriend or whatever they are.
Well, it was about from what Hank told me, it was about that one incident, not every other time.
Even that one incident, from my understanding,
Okay,
Hank
well,
never
I'm just telling you what I was told.
Yeah, from I know, but I'm bringing it. That's why we're coming to you about this. I've done all this investigation. Not one of them have said anything. They're like, no, there's nothing to be done about it.
Izzy, I don't understand. And you say that they didn't appreciate us. You were told that they didn't appreciate us coming up there in the manner that we did. But we didn't come up
When we
there
went to
in
talk
any.
to Hank, yes.
Yeah, but we didn't come up there in any sort of threatening manner. We just showed up and we wanted to talk to him. We weren't threatening. We weren't being aggressive. We weren't being,
I
know,
said all of those things.
Yes.
I directly told Hank when he said that. I said, "Well, the problem is that Abel directly told us that we are not there to start any shit with you." You said that right before we did the ride out when we were sitting next to the parking lot, right before we left.
We went up there, so we went there so we could communicate and just talk.
I know that's what
I
that's
mean,
what you said, and I told Hank what you told me.
I don't believe in acting without thinking and getting facts down. I really don't. I prefer to get all my facts in line before I even.
I specifically told them that there was no aggressive intent, and that you told us specifically not to be aggressive or start any shit, and to let you guys talk to them and handle it. That's what you said.
And that's exactly what we did.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then so Abel has talked to, like he said, he has talked to Suave and Izzy both directly and asked them point blank, about this situation. And they what Abel was told is they never said anything of the sort. They never said anything about that.
To be honest,
never had a problem with it at all.
they didn't even know that we were just coming up there to talk. That's all they thought of it.
Yeah, well, Hank told me he got in trouble over the incidents. That's what he was telling me when
And
he started talking about the thing.
That is complete bullshit. It really is. I mean, because he didn't get in trouble for any of it. There was no trouble because, like I said.
I mean, fine then. I was just telling you what he told me.
I know.
I'm not.
I know, but
I'm not personally involved in that.
I know,
directly.
but it led its way to you. That's what it came down. It came from you. So our next thing was to find out who told you that, because it's like who's trying to put bullshit like that into here, right? Because like I said, I've had a great relationship with Swap, right? I've gone way back with Swap, and he would come straight to me and tell me. So somewhere there's somebody's fucking playing games here.
Yeah, like I said, something's not adding up, and this all started with Amelie and Hank.
Yeah, and you tell me it wasn't Omni that said anything. Honestly,
no, not in city. She did not say anything to me.
I know what she's done said, in the head there. I've done talked to her. She don't like me because I called her on some bullshit and that.
Not that's all I can say is not in city. She didn't say anything to me.
Yeah, she don't like me because it's the simple fact of what I've flat out said. So I just tell her what it is.
She's an extremely dramatic person. That's just her.
She's an unloyal, unfaithful, dishonestable person. Honestly, that's what she is. Looking at it.
I would just say she's a shit stirrer, but I guess if she's saying some shit that isn't true, then that would lie. But I know at a minimum she likes to stir up shit. That's for sure.
Well, no, she definitely.
I mostly avoid her. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know what your thoughts are, Millie.
That's
Sorry,
at this point right now. That's probably a good.
I do think so too. Sorry, I just read that. Yeah. Now here's Go ahead.
Because, like I said, if her, whatever she's got going on with Jack, this whole fucking thing started between Hank. I don't know why I keep saying Jack.
Yeah.
This whole thing started with the two of them, and now Hank is telling you things.
He hasn't said anything since that he told me that, but yes.
Well, regardless of if he said anything since then, the fact is it started with them. He told you something that Suave and Izzy had said to him. And when when you told us, we asked Suave and Izzy, and they their
Yeah, I
stories didn't
understand
line
that.
up. So we got a problem here.
There's a major problem here, and I'm at the point that I don't know what to do about it, because I mean, that's an issue. Who the fuck's saying this bullshit like that? Because I mean, the truth is that there was no problem. Now I do know someone else that has said stupid bullshit, but that was in my head that they said. So I don't know. Now here's my question though, and that's one question I think is even CK's questions, because I've had Rolo come up and question is, why does it always lead back to you?
Because people talk to me and I tell you the things that I hear. That doesn't seem that fucking complicated, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, that may not seem complicated, but every time you tell us that you heard something that somebody said or somebody told you, and if we ask them about it,
They
and
deny
this is 3 for 3 now.
Not that complicated to me either.
Well, it is, because, like I said, so it always leads back to you, as he's saying. And every time you lead back to find out, just to confirm things, because I don't believe in just taking one. I like to confirm things. It's just my habit of mine.
I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest with you.
And I go to confirm it, and they completely deny. Like, no, I never said that to them.
Sounds like what people do.
And that's just, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's just, am I wrong to feel, would you not feel like, what the fuck's going on with this? Like, concern, right? Put yourself, think about it. Would you put yourself
Depends on the context.
Comes back that there's lying going on, right? That's bullshit. What it comes out.
Well, if you think I'm a liar, then fucking just say it.
What I'm saying is they're making it seem like you are lying. Everything it comes back is, it's like that's what I'm saying. It keeps landing on you, and it's driving me nuts. It's driving us all nuts.
I'm just gonna say it. Everything that you have told us that somebody has said, when confronted about them directly, every time 3 for 3, what you have said has not been confirmed. It has come back the opposite of what you had said. So it may
I still stand by what I said either way.
Well, and I mean, not for nothing, but it does kind of, it doesn't look good on what you're saying.
Yes.
Because every time you have said something, it has turned out to either everybody is lying, 3 for 3, everybody is lying, or you're lying.
And that's where I'm at too on that. Sorry.
Well, believe what you want to believe. I don't change anything that I said.
That's not what we're not saying, hey, you should be changing what you said. We want to get down to the bottom of this, is what we're looking at, right? But coming with that way, it's like, really? Wouldn't you want to get down to the bottom why people, if they're lying to you, right? Wouldn't you want to get down to the bottom why are they lying to you?
Well, people, when confronted with things, very often do that, in my experience. Because they don't want to stir the pot, they don't want to get in some drama, they don't want to get in trouble, so they just say whatever they need to say to make it go away. That's my experience with people.
Alright. I don't know.
I mean, can you at least see where we're coming from with this?
I can and I can't.
Okay, explain. Yeah, explain.
Well, because I don't know how you could be this old and not understand that's how people are. When you directly confront them, people are whispering little girls behind the back, when you confront them, they always deny it. That always happens. Just like when I hear people throwing the shit with Johnny, when I talked to Johnny about it, Johnny said, anything. I knew you were joking. It was no problem. And then when I talked to Kimmy, she said, I didn't say anything. When I knew you were joking. It was no problem. But that's not what you guys told me that they said.
What are you talking about?
About when you remember when the incident a while back where Johnny he went up and said something about him having different girls and stuff like that, hanging out with them all the time.
Well, Johnny and Kimmy told me they didn't say anything to you guys and that they didn't understand why it was a problem. because they didn't have a problem. That's what they told me when I tried to talk to him director. Because I told you, if I in any way offended Johnny with any joke that I made, then that's wrong on me, and I've crossed the line, and I wanted to make sure that we're right. And when Johnny told me, I didn't say anything to Abel. I don't know how he even knows about it. That's what he told me. Because that's what people do. That's just how
I
people
know.
are.
And you saying that I didn't want to know this at my age. I do know this. But
Somebody is fucking lying to me about that, because obviously someone told you because you knew about it.
exactly. How else would I know about it?
Exactly. But so why are Kimmy and Johnny both telling me that that they didn't say anything and that everything is cool and that there was no offense taken, when clearly somebody took offense to something I said? And how can I fix that problem if people just can't be
Yeah.
honest with you? This is why I've talked to you about this before. When I hear, oh, so and so said they saw you say so and so in the Yellow Jacket, blah blah blah, and then when I talk to him directly about it, man to man, so like that's a different. Like I'll give you a different example. With that shit that happened the other day, when I talked to Rolo directly said, yes, I said that, and then we were able to work that shit out. We both misunderstood each other. We both miscommunicated, but because he owned up to what he said, I owned up to what I said. We were able to work it out. Because Rolo is not a gossiping little girl that would talk behind my back.
Yeah.
Somebody, that's just how it is.
That's because Rolo and I are cut from the same cloth. I know.
But that's why I trust Rolo, and I told him that directly.
Yeah, Rolo and I are cut from the same cloth because I just flat out say it. I don't give a shit. If someone asks me, yeah, I said that. Fuck 'em.
Each of these situations that you've brought to me about the little fucking dramas, I have gone to everybody that was there and said, what did you say? And they all said, oh, I didn't say anything. There's no problem. Everything's fine. No, I didn't take offense. So I don't know what that's what I mean. Like I don't know what you want from me, because
Well, like I said, we're just we're just confronting you because it came back as false. You know.
well,
that
I would just
situation.
caution you when you have confronted me about things. I have admitted that I'm in the wrong more than once, and I said, you know what, you're right, I did that, and I'm sorry. But so I don't. If you can't trust me, then I don't know what we're doing here. To be honest with you,
It's not fully trust. What it comes down to is, I'm a believer being a man of my word, right? If I say something, I'm the type of person that say what I mean what I say. And I'm not going to take back anything I say. If I say something, I meant what I said. If I was in the wrong of it, I have no problem saying that. I'm in the wrong for what I said there. And I can change myself and say, okay, yes, I was in the wrong. This is the
well, I'm the same way. That's why I respect
Right.
you. But,
That's yeah, that's what's keep coming back to us. It's like over and over, people. Yeah, so it's something we got to figure out what's going on with this here, because it does leave a complete and losing full trust of everybody, right? But at the same time, I do know you, and you have a silver tongue, and I see your silver tongue, and I know that. So I mean, at the same time, I just want to make sure you're not giving me some silver tongue here in the process, you know, trying to backtrack in yourself, which you do. I ain't gonna lie, you do backtrack sometimes, and I know we all do. That's something everybody does. I have no problem pointing out the truth to everybody, and me myself included. I'm not fully innocent in everything.
you know, well, this shit is getting beyond annoying
It
on my
is.
side.
It is. So let's maybe, I don't know. I think Steve and I are gonna talk more, and I've talked to Millie too about it. But I think when someone does come to us, we gotta make sure that we gotta fact check people, make sure they're not giving some bullshit lie, because with them doing that could be trying to lead us down a path, right? I looked at that Omni person and I see her want to lead us into some bullshit beef with somebody that I don't fucking know, right? She's just a drama stir. That's what a lot of people seem to be doing here. Even
There's
in
a lot
the
of
club.
people in the city do.
We need, I think, the entire club, we need to be honest with each other. Seriously, why are people don't want to be honest, right? In the club, we should be honest with each other.
I've expressed
real.
this frustration to you more than once when I hear people talk behind my back and not telling me directly what their problem is. I don't have that problem. I don't talk behind people's backs.
I didn't think I'd stay behind your back. I'll say to your face the way I look at it. So if I'm saying
Right.
something, I didn't talk behind your back, so I'll say it to your face.
But I mean,
You
I
know?
show them that respect. It doesn't make me feel good when they don't show me that respect.
See, that's why I did what I did. I did my research on it. I went back to make sure everything was factual, and then seen what the fuck's... Your story's the only one that seemed to be off. I don't know. Well, what was told to you has been off, right? Everything that was told to you has been completely off. It seems like.
Well, then fine. Not everything
know.
everyone tells me is going to be true.
I know. It's just weird that it's. I don't know. No, we're gonna definitely have to figure this out, and we're gonna have to make sure. I don't know. We all just need to be factual and honest with each other. Be truthful. It sucks. Some people hate the honesty, I guess. I don't know.
People don't like confrontation and will say whatever it takes to get out of that confrontation. In my experience.
Fight or flight, I guess. Oh, what do you say, CK?
I'm kind of torn. I'm gonna be honest.
Me too. Because it's just, I don't know. I get told one thing by them, and I confront them about it. Because I confront them because I want to apologize. If they felt that way, I want to apologize to them. Make sure they knew that that was never intent. Because it's something we are trying to practice as a club. Because I think it's
I'm not
better.
saying Suave is lying, just to be clear.
Yeah.
No, I would think I'd be pointing that finger more towards Hank.
Yeah, I do want to go talk to Hank now. I want to confront him about it. I want to keep digging down to the full part here, because I want the fucking truth. I'm tired of people being bullshit lies about that. So we're gonna have to.
I'm Jack. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you, man. You know, there's some what you said. There's something that you said that isn't that it's not really sitting well with me right now, and that's when people are confronted with something, they will say and do whatever they can to get out of that situation. And based on the things that you have said, the information that you have relayed to us, and having a perfect record thus far of being untrue when we confront them about it, you know, I'm kind of at that crossroad of who do I trust? Because I could trust them and what they said, and what you're telling me isn't true, or I trust you and what you said is true and they're lying about it. So I'm struggling to figure out who it is that I believe. And
Well, if
one
you
thing
don't
that
believe me, then we can part on good ways, because I'm not going to deal with this bullshit.
well, see, you call it bullshit. You getting frustrated with it, and that all that is doing is telling me that you're not seeing our side of it and understanding and respecting our point of view from it and how it looks. Because how it looks may not be how it is, but the fact that you're just getting frustrated
How
said,
it
well, then
looks
we
is
could
how
just
you
part
choose
ways.
to look at it.
All right, yeah, then you're choosing to look at it as if we straight up don't trust you, when right now I'm straight up telling you I don't know if I do. I don't know if I can trust what you say, because every time you have said something, when I do my own investigation of it, it turns out that what you said was not true, or the stories were different. So I'm trying to process
your language
which
is really revealing what I mean.
that I'm trying to figure out who it is that I
No.
trust.
You just corrected yourself there when you said, well, it turns out what you said isn't true. Here, 3 for 3. I know what I can read between the lines. I know.
So then read what I'm saying. So then read what I'm saying then. What am I saying? If you can say what I'm saying better than I can.
Think that what I'm saying is true.
You know what? You're right. You're right. There is a part of me that doesn't. Right now, yes, there is a part of me that does not. That does. I did say that.
I've said that too.
Say that.
There's part of me that does. That's why I'm confronting you about. Because it's like, why am I? And it's like, what the heck's going on? Is it you that's lying? Who's lying? I don't know who's lying. I want to get down to the bottom of it. So I don't say, hey, I'm going to just automatically trust this person, because, especially when the track records of people, right? I've paid attention. I know track record of Swab with me, right? His track record, I have tested every person I encounter. I do test them. And Swab I have tested multiple times, and his track record with me, he has never once lied to me. Not once. And this is in, I think, 4 years that I've known the guy.
I'm not accusing him of lying to you.
I'm not accusing of you lying. I'm saying I'm trying not yet. I'm not accusing you yet. I ain't gonna deny that, right? I'm not accusing yet, but I'm not saying you are or aren't. I'm in the middle. I'm twisted and confused on the whole situation because it's like, who is lying to us, right? And every encounter I do, I could go back and show you, because I always make sure I'm recording everything I do when I talk to these people, right? Multiple times am I constantly recording them, and I'm saying, here, I want you guys. Millie's watch my recording on these. I could even send them on over to anybody, so you could see me confronting Schwab and them both. Figure out what's going on. I confronted Schwab first by itself, and then they're like, "Hey, have you talked to Izzy?" I said, "Not yet. Let me go talk to her." And I have one day, I end up taking an air flight to the hospital, and they both were standing there. I said, "Oh man, you guys are just perfect being in front of me here. I've been wanting to talk to both of you for a minute." And I confronted them both, making Saint wait, I think, a half hour to an hour conversation with them. I feel bad for Saint on that one. You get what I'm saying, though? I mean, could you understand where we're coming from? I said it's not accusing you. It's not just because I don't know.
It feels like it.
Right now, as far as I'm concerned, everybody's guilty. Even Hank's guilty. Schwab's he's still guilty. He had a little more trust because he has proven himself to be, his track record has proven good towards me. But then again, he may have changed. I don't know. So he's not completely in the clear of thinking he's lying to me. But I do think we need to get with Hank. We need to sit down with Hank and actually just talk to him and find out the truth from him too. I want to hear his truth. Because if
that's all I want is the truth.
Here's what it comes down to. If there is an issue, I want to make sure that I'm apologizing for the issue, right? As leaders, I want to make sure they understand that was never our intent. Our intent is always first to get down to the bottom of it to find out if it's true. Because I don't want to go into some bullshit beef with someone because of a lie. I'd rather come down to truth. And if we could discuss it and work it out, because 90% of the problems in this world is miscommunication, right? Is that would you agree with that? And that's why I'm coming to you to communicate with you, to find out,
So, and you said you've already talked to Hank about this?
I have not been able to fully talk to Hank with what I know.
Then why, when you're saying that my story doesn't match up, then that doesn't make any sense.
With what I know now from you. Because I went off and talked to people that were there. And I've had multiple conversations with Hank. Right? Throughout the entire time. I still haven't conversations. The only person I haven't talked to outside of you're on my list, and I gotta re-talk to Hank again. I've never talked to Omni since this. That's one person I'm talking to. And I don't know who that other person you said is. I don't even know who they are. So I, of course, never talked to them.
Well, she probably heard it from Hank because she's friends with Hank. If I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, so I don't know who she is, and I don't even think she was there during that time. So I don't know why
she definitely wasn't.
Yeah, so why would she even have any type of information about it?
If she does, I'm gonna assume she's very good friends with Hank.
Yeah, so I want to know how she brought, what's her take in all this in the long run, right? Like, she was even involved in this.
She didn't seem to really feel. She didn't seem to care that much about it altogether, other than Hank being threatened, or in his perception or whatever. I don't know. I didn't talk to him too much about that. Well, he said he felt threatened. I'm just telling you. He said he felt threatened.
Yeah, I think.
And I told him he wasn't being threatened. I directly told him that, because he was like, "Oh, I'm afraid, blah blah about this and that," and I said, "There's nothing to be afraid of. If Abel already talked to you, and the issue is settled, then the issue is settled. There's nothing to. He's not going to come after you if you already talked and the issue is settled." I told him that. I told him what you said at the end before we rode out over there, that you didn't want to start any shit with him. You didn't want us to start any shit with him, and you just wanted to have a talk with him. That's literally what you said. That's what I told him. Because he was talking about being afraid to fly his cousin in, or brother, or whatever, that fucking Yakuza guy. He's like, "Oh, because the Vikings are going to come after me." I said, "No, they're not going to come after him." And what are you talking about? Nobody said that. Oh, Suave's actually downstairs waiting for me, by the way.
Yeah, you better get down there.
All right, sorry.
We gotta talk on this, I guess. We gotta give it to Hank.